home. Now, here's the part that made me realize I'm a bitch.
Y'all give it up for the one and only Austin Church!
Just finally hit 11 months sober. Only from alcohol. Now, I had to get sober. I was a really bad alcoholic for a while. Like, I wasn't getting DUIs or causing car crashes. I'm a much better drunk driver than that. But I did really have a bad problem. And the thing is, I like bragging about it on stage because I can't really brag about it to my family. Because when you brag about being sober to a family full of coke and meth heads, they kind of make you feel like a bitch. I remember one time I was talking to my brother a few months back, and I told him that I was 7 months sober at the time. To which he responded back, drinking's not that bad. I was like, you're right. Drinking itself's not that bad. But when you're spending $250 a night on bar tabs, that's a problem. Yes, I'm a great person to party with, by the way. But I was telling him about that, and he told me, he's like, look, man, until you've been kidnapped and burned because you owe a bar money, don't call yourself an addict. And that made me realize in that moment that next to a meth head, nobody's a fucking addict. Like, dude, just attend one AA meeting if you feel like you have a problem. If you vibe with those people, you should be there. If you don't, you'll find out quick that you're nowhere near as bad as you could be. Like, because I was blowing tons of money at bars, but I was never blowing a dude for a whiskey sour, you know? Basically, this is a long roundabout way of saying, no matter how bad this area gets, it'll never be as bad as Socher. If you've never traveled up north, that's where the meth heads are. But I will say, I miss living down here. But when I got into therapy for being an alcoholic, we had to go through this process of getting me sober. And what we realized was, I'm a very soft person at heart. Like, I don't have it in me to be mean to anybody. You could cut me off in traffic, and I would be like, I'm sorry for living, you know? Dude, I avoid confrontation like it's child support, you know? Some of you pay your bills, okay. But no, the main story that made me realize that I am a soft person was when we used to live down here. Me and my friends were playing on breaking into Markham one night. And for those of you that don't know, mainly the people watching at home, the Markham is an abandoned hotel here, and it's very famous for having homeless people live in it. And so when we got there, I had elected myself to watch out for cops. Not because I wanted to help out, but just because if there were homeless people in there, I'm a dip, you know? Like, I'm gonna leave. I'm a bitch. I ain't trying to get bit by a guy with one tooth, you know? Plus, I've seen the news, a lot of syphilis out here. But no, so they end up breaking in. I'm across the street. I'm leaning up against the car, smoking a cigarette. And about 15 minutes pass by, and I start seeing this homeless man walk up the street. So first off, let me describe this man to you. First of all, rain boots. It ain't wet. And they're two different colors. They're green and black. Then red basketball shorts, a fisherman's vest, no shirt, and then to complete the ensemble, a bucket hat. This man looked like the NBA Lost at Sea, is what I'm saying. So I try to hop back in the car before I get noticed by Captain D over there. Unfortunately, it didn't work. This man makes a beeline straight for my car, and as soon as he gets over there, he starts just banging on the window. I start trying to scramble and find my phone and let my friends know that Long John Silver's trying to fuck me. And I couldn't find my phone. Now, here's the part that made me realize I'm a bitch. He didn't have a weapon, so I could have gotten out and fought him. The keys were in the ignition of the car, so I could have drove off. Instead, my primal instinct was just to look at this man and go, "Stop it! You're scaring me!" Oh, man. But I miss living down here sometimes, but when I was growing up, we used to live in Socher. And I don't know if you could tell by my face, we were poor. Like, we were poor to the point where my dad was selling his pain pills just so that we could get by. And I remember there were two people that he sold to that I like to remember. The first one was we lived in these apartments, and across the hall was this older black lady. I love this woman to death, but man, she was not afraid to beat our ass for acting a fool. I got hit by this lady's church fan more than my own mama ever touched me. But my dad would sell her pills. And I remember I was young, so I didn't really know what was going on. And my dad would also cover it up by every time going over there, he would grab a light bulb and say that he was going to help her change a light. Now, my brother, he thought that they were having an affair. Like artificial hips and bunions got my dad going. But me, I was concerned. I was like, this lady's lights just stay going out. Like, I think she got an electrical issue or something. I bet she over there playing with them lights. I know that makes them go out. Dude, I remember whenever I found out my dad was selling, I'm not gonna lie, I got mad. Because like, here I am thinking that this guy's assisting the elderly like a good person. But in reality, he's just getting senior citizens hooked on drugs. I was very involved in the DARE program. Like, dude, I should have known something was going on because my earlier years of school, I thought the message of Drug-Free Week was don't do drugs unless they're free. Like, at that point, it's a gift. Like, it's rude not to accept a gift. But I remember one time we were having that meeting where they start telling you about all the drugs, and I don't know if they still do it, but cigarettes used to be on that list. And so after the meeting, I had walked up to my teacher, and I was like, hey, I think my dad does drugs. And she goes, really? What makes you say that? I was like, he smokes cigarettes. Get him. Well, I thought I caught El Chapo. I was like, get this man in this dirty cigarette cartel. He's out here ruining lives. Yeah, crazy thing is I was right. I just didn't have the correct details. But no, growing up with my dad was wild. My dad is also a crazy college football fan. And like I said, we're poor, so we're Auburn fans. We're not used to winning in life, you know? But all of my college football people can agree that college football fans have the craziest fan base. Like, it's the only one where it's socially acceptable, where if you get a big win or an upset victory, everybody storms the field, rips up the goalpost. I wish I loved anything that much. To where when something good finally happens to it, my first thought is, I'm so happy, let's destroy the place. like imagine if I apply that to real life. My son gets an A and I just drop kick him. My wife gets a promotion, I hit her with an RKO out of nowhere. What I'm gonna start doing is applying that to whenever I play the college football video game. Like whenever I get a big upset win, I'm just gonna light my house on fire. Fire department shows up, it's just me in the driveway in my boxers, holding an Xbox. They're like, what happened? I was like, I beat Alabama. I just like the idea of the fire department hearing my address and being like, good, he's on a win streak. No, but growing up with my dad, it was wild. Like we grew up Southern Baptist, like many other children in the South. And I don't know if it's still like this, but during that time, I did not like how judgy people were in that church. Like, I remember going grocery shopping with my aunt, and she would hide her alcohol on the bottom of the cart just in case she ran into somebody from her church, which I never understood because, hey, Jesus drank wine, but I guess since hers comes from a box from Winn-Dixie, she's a sinner, you know? Apparently cubes are the devil shape. But since my dad had other life endeavors, learning about Jesus was weird, especially since his dealer's name was Jesus, which he refused to not call Jesus. So he would say shit that confused me, like, hey, Sunday we're going to Jesus' house. Make sure we got money for the collection. I'm like, do we need $5 or $500? You know? I need to know what kind of Sunday we're about to have, you know? But no, like, our Jesus was weird. He couldn't walk on water, but he could turn food stamps into Coke, which I feel is just as equal as a miracle. His mother wasn't a virgin, but he was one fantastic carpenter. But no, if you couldn't tell from this entire 10 minutes of my set, I actually have a really good relationship with my father. This is actually him right here. But thanks for the one person. But my dad's done a lot of bad stuff, but who hasn't, you know? We're all people. But he's done a lot of good stuff too. Like, he's the entire reason I have my first stepbrother. Well, luckily, we didn't have to go through that awkward phase of like getting to know each other and know what we liked and what we didn't like because we were cousins first. I'm sorry. We were cousins first. Hell yeah. But no, my dad really did marry my cousin's mom. She is now his third wife, so he now has a wife for each one of his teeth. Smile for the camera. But now, you know you got a bad drug problem when some of your kids develop the same drug problem. Like, I got the itchiest family reunions. I used to bring dates over to the house, and everybody just be scratching. They'd be like, "Ugh, y'all got fleas?" It's like, "Nah, we got meth, baby. What's up?" Sit down and clean out that light bulb. It's family crafts night. But no, I remember when we first found out about the marriage, I went over to my cousin's house, and all night long we were calling each other cousin brother. Every chance we got, we called each other cousin brother until we realized how weird it made the sex. We're cousin brother lovers. But no, I feel like sometimes I was born to do this, you know, because like of just the life that I lived. Because on top of having a dad that was an addict and a dealer, I also have a mom with no legs. Brother, I didn't mean to scare you that bad, dog. Like, it happens. But no, I remember when my mom lost her first leg, I was 10 years old. And ever since then, I have lived in absolute fear that one day I'm going to get my ass beat with that leg. Luckily, she never got me, but damn did she get my brother, man. Man, when he pissed her off, she turned into Danny Dimes, like an African hunter with a spear, dude. I remember she had that thing redesigned with a quick release so that she could just pop that thing off like a Call of Duty reload. Basically, if they make a Special Olympics football team, I hope she's the quarterback. Just need to put my brother's face on the back of their helmets. But no, when she lost her legs, she started getting into a lot of groups. Like, that was her thing. She wanted to join groups. And a few days ago, she had told me that she had joined a group for people in wheelchairs. Now, she was talking about a Facebook group. My mind immediately went to wheelchair biker gang. Why don't we have those? like they already got the fingerless gloves. Let's just strap them up with some leather vests, watch them fight over handicapped parking spaces. Like, they already got a lot in common. Like, when they pass by you, you got to look and see what model they're riding. And it's bad when you hit them with your car. But no, like, we got the devil's disciples. Where's the devil's disableds? And their arch rivals, the amputators. No. But doing this, you have to learn a lot about yourself. And one thing I've learned about me is that no matter how true a statement can be, if you go over the top to try and prove it, I immediately don't believe you. Like, I saw a sign a few days ago that said, "Smoking causes more deaths than murder." We can all agree that sounds about right. But my first thought was, why are those lumped together? Those aren't even close to the same thing. There's no cigarettes out here doing drive-bys. Like, the disciplines are even different. If you're a kid and you get caught smoking cigarettes, the worst thing is that maybe you have a crazy dad. He makes you smoke a whole carton of cigarettes. If you get caught murdering, the cop's not going to be like, "Oh, you like murder, do you? Why don't you go kill this whole family then?" But no, I actually looked it up, and smoking has way more fourth quarter clutches. Just for reference, in the U.S. alone, 480,000 people a year die from smoking-related illness. Only 22,000 are murdered, which finally scared me, and which is why 2 months ago, I finally quit smoking cigarettes. And started murdering. Because like I said, I'm an Auburn fan. If there's one thing I appreciate, it's a good underdog. I got to pump those numbers up. Like, we got now commercials where it's people like, "I've been smoking for 35 years. I want commercials where they're like, "I've been killing people for 35 years. I want old people to be like, "I remember we could murder on planes." I'm not going to lie. The original joke to that was, I remember we could murder in school, but I feel like we've just gotten better at that. Oh, we don't like the truth. Oh. Got y'all for 40 more minutes. Sit tight. But I got a lot of weird friends too. Like, oh yeah, half of them are here. But no, I have one friend, he went missing recently. Like, not like lost him at a party, like legit went missing. Like, and we all got concerned because, when you have a friend go missing, you immediately start thinking the worst. Like, they got kidnapped or even worse, dead. And it got to the point where his sister was like putting up missing persons photos and got the police involved to do a search party, only for him to be found in jail. The police did the biggest, stole your phone and helped you look for it. like I just imagine families crying, walking through the woods. Meanwhile, he's in the back of a cop car. They're just like, I don't know where you left him. But when we heard about it, we were like, okay, that sucks. But it's not as bad as it could have been, And they didn't release his charges right away. So naturally, as friends do, we started placing bets on what his charges were. Like, I had drug charges. Some people had identity theft, fraud, stuff like that. This man got Chris Hansened. We all lost the bet. Like, when we first heard about that, we were like, dude, the worst is way bad. Way worse than we thought. But not like, yeah, you know how bad it sucks to not say that you can know somebody on TV? Like, because I'd have to be like, hey, I have a friend on TV. And they'd be like, really? What does he do? To catch a predator. He was the antagonist. I've never understood why cops have shows like that. Like, you have Live PD, you have Cops, stuff like that. The thing I don't understand more is police with social media accounts. Like, and you see them all the time. Like, I see them on TikTok all the time doing trends. And all I can think is what it's like being an inmate at that jail. And it's like you're just waiting to get your phone call, and the cop's just sitting there is like, yo, can I get my call? And the cop's just like, yo, you're going to have to wait, bro. Renegade. The thing I don't understand more than that is why police departments have Instagrams. Like, I can understand a Facebook page so that you can post statuses and just like let the people know what's going on. I don't understand Instagrams at all, because the only thing I can think of that's worse than getting arrested is getting arrested only to have a whole bunch of cops pose next to you and then upload it to Instagram, got another one, hashtag cuffing season. My absolute favorite, though, are the drug busts. Because, like, you'll see them all the time. Some of them are big, and I understand those. They just want to let the people know what's in the area and warn them about it. I always comment, what's the address, but they never respond. But my favorite that I've ever seen, it was 5 cops lined up behind one little sack of weed. And the caption was, always happy to protect and serve. Who are you protecting from an eighth of weed, is what I want to know. You're not protecting anybody. You're just ruining some guy's weekend. If protecting and serving is confiscating an eighth of weed, I protect and serve my dealer every week. But no, I do have a lot of wild friends. Like, anybody in here ever had the luxury of figuring out that your friend is a swinger? No, just me? It's a horrendous thing. Like, I'll tell you, I used to work with this guy when I used to work at a car dealership. And all the times he would tell me about these parties that him and his wife would have. And the way he would tell me was just weird. Like, all he would do is just show me a picture of a dude holding a fish and be like, yo, I banged that guy's wife this weekend. First of all, gross. Second thing is, I never saw the wives. I only saw the dudes. Like, I was like, hey, man, are you sure there's wives? Like, if not, it's cool. I'll still be your friend. I just need to know. But I had to stop being friends with him after this. It's like one time I was sitting in the break room. He came in and sat down and was like, hey, man, me and my wife are having a party this weekend. Would you and your wife like to come? And I was like, come with an O or a U? But no. The part that bothered me the most about it was he's never seen my wife. He's just basing it off of me. which made me feel like a hoe. Like I'm just some sort of object. Second thing is, he was ugly, so no. My wife deserves better than that. But no, so after he told me that, I was sitting there in my head just trying to think of a way to turn him down without hurting his feelings. And the best thing I could come up with was, no thanks, my dick is small. Because like in my head, I was like, that'll turn him off, you know? Like I feel like if you bring a small dick to a swingers party, it's like bringing Tylenol PM to a pill party, you know? Like I'm having a great time, but I'm just disappointing everybody else with what I brought. But also what I wasn't about to let happen was me become another one of this man's brags, you know? Like I don't even have a picture of me holding a fish. Like I gotta go fishing before I go to your party. It just sounds like a lot of work. Oh. I will have to say, I am married. I actually had the luxury of being able to marry my high school sweetheart. Hell yeah, it's cute as shit. Fight me about it. But when we first got together, we didn't really plan on staying together, you know? Because like on top of us being seniors in high school, I was about to move states. She had just gotten out of a relationship. So we both had the mindset of let's just have some fun and see where this goes. And after about a month, we both learned that that goes straight to a baby. I remember the day she told me. Like, to give you some perspective, the day before I found out I was going to be a father, I was smoking weed out of a Monster can. The day I found out I was going to be a father, I learned I might not graduate high school. I remember I had this conversation with my teacher right before I had left. And so I was walking out. At the time, one of my best friends, Caleb, and my now wife, Lydia, had came and picked me up. And I had hopped in the truck, and I'm instantly complaining. I'm like, yo, this sucks. Like, I might not graduate. This day might not, like, cannot get any worse. And she had already told Caleb at this time. And so I said that this day cannot get any worse, and he's driving. He goes, I bet the fuck it can. I didn't pay no mind to it. I was just still bitching. Got all the way back to the house, and we get there, and there was a shed in my front yard that we used to smoke in. And so we're walking out there. I'm like, finally, you know, I could just rib me a bowl, forget about the day. I could finally relax. Boy, was I wrong. Again, we get out there, no weed, which was rude. Secondly, we get out there, and my friend Caleb's like, look, man, you might want to sit down for this. I was like, look, bro, I've been sitting all day. Just tell me what it is. And my wife goes, I'm pregnant. That panic attack must have lasted 4 hours. like, have you ever freaked out to the point where you didn't know where to put your hands? Like, I was just sitting there like, looked like I was tweaking. It's like, you said you're pregnant? But after about 4 hours, and I finally calmed down, put my hands in my pockets, she had, I decided, I was like, look, we did this together. We're going to take care of it together. And we handled our responsibilities, and now we've been married for 8 years. Now, with that being said, I'm pretty sure my wife's autistic. Mainly because, like, my oldest son is autistic. And, whenever you go and do that testing, you'll go in, and they'll ask you a bunch of questions. And the doctor had told us, is like, hey, just so you know, this is hereditary. And I looked at her right then. I was like, I know it ain't me, bitch. But the more we got to learning and the more we got to talking about it, the more she really did start to think that she was autistic, to the point to where she wanted to go get tested. And I was like, I don't want you to go get tested. She was like, why not? I was like, because if you go get tested and you find out you're autistic, I'm no longer married to somebody outside my league. I just tricked the sped kid and got her pregnant, you know? I feel like that's an L on my part. But when you've been married to somebody that long, you learn a lot about yourself, because you don't really know who you are as a person until you live with somebody else. And if you're like me, you learn that you do everything wrong. But I learned that I cannot take anything seriously. Like, for instance, sex. Ladies, have you ever had a guy go down on you and start playing with your titties like this? Like he's trying to get the last chip out of a Pringles can. You ever had that? How about this? You ever had a guy go in from the back and go, Kobe, you know? I ain't missed yet. I got 4 kids. I'm hitting it from 3 at this point. Except for once, God crossed us up with a miscarriage, but it's fine. But no, I'll tell you the worst thing I ever did. One night, she was laying down on the bed. She was naked. She was feeling insecure about her C-section scar. So I wanted to be a good husband. I wanted to make her laugh, make her feel better. So what I did was I grabbed the pussy lips and just went, you want to know how I got these scars? I want to make this pencil disappear. Ultimate Batman reference. Well, I'll tell you what, she got me back, so don't feel bad. I was laying on the bed. I was naked. We sleep naked. I guess we don't believe in robbers. Or maybe we're just overly prepared, because the only thing I can think of that's scarier than a man with a gun is a naked man with a gun. But I was laying on the bed. I was naked. So she just rolls over and grabs my dick and goes, do you ever just wish it was big? I was like, bitch, now I do. Got to call some exes and get some assurances. Called my cousin up. I was like, hey, man, can I get your opinion on something? Told you, cousin, brother, lovers. Oh. But me and my wife are now at the point where we start realizing that we're getting older. Like, we're not old yet, because we're not even 30, but we are getting there. Like, for instance, we started noticing it in the bedroom. Like, we used to be able to just close the door and go at it, but not anymore. Now my wife's got to pop her hips and make sure everything's in check. I got to take ibuprofen to make sure my arthritis don't act up. Otherwise, I just look like the strong hand dude from Scary Movie 2. And that's just a hard look to make sexy. Like, for instance, have you ever had to seductively take off a lidocaine patch? You ever just had to unwrap your lady like a Band-Aid? But to be honest, I knew I was heading this direction, because we had my first son because my leg gave out. like I was about to pull out, but my tendonitis was like, nah, we good for 18 years, bro. But there's subtle things that I've been noticing in my regular life too that shows that I'm getting older. Like, I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately. Like, I've been watching one about the Roman Empire. Now, my favorite thing about these documentaries is their ability to say some wild fact and then just move on like it never happened. Like in this one, the narrator had came over and was like, the Roman Empire had one of the strongest military forces in the world for many years. And then some guy just pops up and goes, yeah, it was actually stated that the Roman soldiers would sleep together before battle to improve a stronger bond. And then it just went to commercial. So now I'm just sitting here looking at the OxyClean guy, wondering, how did he get that information? Who's out here in the world like, I can't wait to talk about the Roman Empire. This is going to blow their minds. Also, who was the soldier that went home after the war and was like, babe, you're never going to believe what we did before we attacked the Greeks? By the way, you need to step your game up. Titus is killing it right now. I like to imagine the meeting of where they passed that. Like, I imagine a room full of all the war generals, and the main guy just walks in. He's like, look, we need to do something. We're not gelling together as a team. We need to come up with some sort of exercise to make these guys trust each other and work as a unit. And then I imagine some guy in the back, probably ugly, who leans forward. He's like, I got an idea. We could fuck each other. And what's crazy is that they passed it. The strongest military in the world took that idea, was like, you know what, that's great. And they put it in their plans. But yet whenever I recommend it at my job, I just get called gay. But no, I feel like there's a threshold that you cross whenever you finally hit that moment of where, you know, you're getting old. And I feel like that is when you start hating Snapchat. We can all agree that there's 2 things that people use Snapchat for. That is either using filters or taking nudes. I have no business using either. Nothing on me photographs well. Even when I take a selfie, I look like one of those 50-year-old dudes on Facebook. Which leads me to my main concern, is that I hate Snapchat memories. Because ladies, we can all agree that there's not a dick in the world that looks good in a picture. Especially when you're 16 years old and don't know about camera angles yet. Like, dude, I had 5 different pictures. It was 5 different dicks, swear to God. 2 of them were mine. Like, tell you how bad it was. I had an underside picture, dude. I was just double chinned up looking down the barrel. Second one was even worse. It was just eyes peeking over a gut. You couldn't even see the whole head. Like I was a dick stalker or something. I told my friend about it one time. He was like, hey, have you ever used a TV remote for comparison? I was like, I think we're 2 different guys, bro. That's why I don't have cable. I'll just embarrass myself. I could do a Roku remote. This dick comes with a Tubi subscription. 3 months free. But I will say, I don't think I just have any business using any form of technology anymore. Because I keep finding myself in a really bad area and I don't notice it until it's too late. Like I accidentally watched a gay porn for 15 minutes. Like, look, the thumbnail just bamboozled me, y'all. All I saw was a nice ass. I didn't see specifics. I will say, I spent the first 90 seconds wondering when the chick was going to come in. After about a minute and a half, I was like, I don't think she's coming, bro. I will say, I have a whole new respect for gay porn plots, though, because they know their audience. Like, there's no 5-minute intro learning, like, who knows who or how they work together or whatever. All it is some guy walking into the kitchen, and he opens up the fridge, and he's like, did you eat the last of the ribs? The guy's like, yeah. He's like, all right, we got to fuck about that now. And they do. It's efficient is what I'm saying. I also earned a whole new respect for bottoms that day. Like, ladies, y'all have nothing on a good gay bottom. I'm just going to say that right now. Like, that man was putting in work. You ever seen somebody work so hard you got thirsty? I will say I was sitting there watching it the whole time, like, I got to turn this off. But I was high, so I was like, it's homophobic if I turn it off. So I was just sitting there watching it like, I'm such an ally right now. Oh. Yeah. Sometimes I can't believe I got my wife to marry me. Because I come with a lot of baggage, you know, and I feel like my biggest form of baggage comes from whenever I was 11 years old. I had just gotten my first hand job. And I remember the beautiful person who had given it to me was my next door neighbor. He was 32. Any further, just know this is a true story. But yeah, when something like that happens to you, it really messes with you. Because like I had developed homophobia. I never hated anybody, but I did develop a genuine fear. But after years of going to therapy and just growing as a person, I can finally sit here and admit to you guys, that's the best fucking hand job I've ever had. Like, that guy had experience, man. Like, that thing was like driving down a back road, nothing but twists and turns. Like, I mean, my wife tries, but once you've worked with professionals, my wife's never called a charge for her hand job. I will say, so when something like that happens, it does stick with you, because to this day, I can't finish until you tell me not to tell my parents. It only gets worse. But I will say, when I was going through therapy for that, one of the things that they told me to do was to confront it. And so I had a plan. I was going to message him, I was going to start up a conversation, and then I was going to confront him. And this asshole had the nerve to not respond to any of my dick pics. Like, I even shaved and everything. I was like, hey, remember? Same size and everything. But no, what really happened was I messaged him, and he came back and said, who's this? Yo, that sting's coming from an ex. Dude, it hurts your soul coming from your molester. Like, this man is burned into my permanent memory. I have nightmares about this man to this day, and yet I'm just out here as another one of this 11-year-old sluts. Like, I thought we had something, man. I've been doing that joke for a while, and occasionally I'll have people come up to me after shows, or they'll hit me in my DMs and be like, thank you for telling your story and being able to laugh about it, because that helps people like me. And then they'll proceed to share their story. And I've heard some wild shit. Like this one lady told me her story, which made me message my guy and was like, bro, thank you. You kept me from the bad ones, you know? Like, I figured since he claimed me first, the rest just knew I was tainted, you know? It was like being in prison, but I got claimed by the guy who just wants to cuddle. Like, I'm still mad uncomfy, but there's people out there that's got it way worse, is what I'm saying. But I was also in therapy for something else, too. I have real bad problems with empathy. Like, I have a hard time, like, processing emotions or feeling bad for people. And one of the exercises we were doing for that was to go through major key moments in my life and figure out when I should have had emotion, but then, didn't, and try to figure out where the disconnect was. And one of the moments that had stood out was when a few years ago, my grandfather had passed. And I remember this clear as day. We were at his house. Everybody was real upset. He had just passed. They were all crying, hugging each other. And like I said, I don't do well with emotions, so I was in the corner playing Angry Birds. The part that I feel bad about the most is that I had forgotten to take the ringer off. So just everybody's crying and hugging, and in the corner you just hear doo-doo-doo-doo. But when something like that happens, there's companies that are involved that should just be professional across the board, you know? Like you should have a uniform, a sign on the car, something. At least talk to the family and let them know who you are. We got none of that. Like, all we had was 2 old black dudes showed up in an old Dodge Caravan. No uniforms, just white t-shirts, khaki shorts. And they just walked in, didn't say a word to anybody. They just looked at my grandfather and was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. And then they just picked him up. Didn't talk to anybody. And started walking him towards the door. And I think everybody was too emotional to notice what had happened. But once they crossed the threshold to the door, they dropped him. Like, dude, there's points when it's okay to have an oopsie daisy. Picking up a relative ain't one of them. What's even worse is that they acted like they spilt some milk on the carpet. He was like, oh, my bad, let me get that for you. But they wound up picking him up. They took him out there to the car. And that's when I had noticed the Dodge Caravan. Because, like, my first thought was, that sucks that his last ride has to be in a caravan. But I remember I was standing there with my wife. They had drove off. And I looked at her. I was like, hey, if I pass before you, do some research. I don't want a coroner that we can pay by Cash App, you know? Oh. But I do have kids. I've got 4 boys. I got a 7-year-old, I've got a 4-year-old, and I've got 3-year-old twins. And my oldest, he is probably the nicest kid you'll ever meet in the world. Like, there's not a single mean bone in his body. He cries when bugs get killed. He's one of those. My 4-year-old, he picked up every bone that motherfucker dropped. That boy's a gangster, dude. Like he just does shit that makes you think prison. Like, I got onto him a few days ago, and he had a toy. He just knocked it over. I know a death threat when I get one. That night, I locked mine and his doors. I've seen Chucky. I know how it works. But the other thing about him is how he plays with his brothers. So he has this little Spider-Man Nerf gun that he plays with. And just so you know, we don't watch movies for adults in my house while they're awake. It's just cartoons morning to night. But I walk into my living room one day, and he's got that Nerf gun held up to his brother, and he is running his pockets. He's sitting there like, give me that cup, give me that phone, and the blanket. My youngest son, he's a bitch. He was just handing everything over. Well, here's the gangster part. He picked up everything, walked away a couple of steps, turned around, shot him anyway. You know how gangster that is? Motherfucker was leaving the room, shot his other brother just to leave no witnesses. Like, I saw that shit, I was like, fuck it, there's no hope. I just started teaching him how to play dominoes. It's like, your college fund's going right to your commissary, bud, I got you. But my son, the one that he was robbing, he's zesty. For you older people, that means he's gay. I'll tell you this, he's so zesty, this boy wears dresses and heels and has his own little tiara, and that ain't even the zestiest thing about him. Like, and first of all, he asked for it, I bought it for him, and he looks fabulous, okay? Get that out the way real quick. But here's what I think the zestiest thing about him is. If he gets upset or you get on to him or anything like that, the only way to calm him down is to let him shop on Amazon. And what does he shop for? More dresses and heels. But he's so bougie when he does it too. Because like he'll set the tablet up, he'll cross his legs, hand out, I imagine a Virginia Slim in his hand, and he's just flipping through it. That boy's gonna cost me a lot of money, but he's gonna be glamorous, okay, honey? Oh. I've learned a lot from being a father, though. Like, the main thing I've learned is, in your kids' eyes, as the father, you are the bravest person in the world. If they are scared of the dark, and there's a dark room, it's your job as the father to walk into that dark room and show them that it's safe. Which I don't like, because I am also scared of the dark. Like, I'll still go in that dark room, but I'm kicking whatever touches me. Like, for instance, one night, I woke up in the middle of the night. I went to go to the kitchen. My house is pitch black. So, and I don't know what this is as people, why we start, like, if it's dark, you start crab walking, trying to find, like, we just instantly turn into crustaceans when we're scared. Trying to find the light switch. So I'm doing that, and my son brushes up against my leg, and with all the fear and strength in my body, I kicked the fuck out of my son. Like, I just went, ah! Instantly became an MMA fighter. I didn't even feel bad. I was just like, what the fuck you doing in this dark-ass room? Go to bed. Trying to be a vampire or something? But no, like, if I'm out in the dark and I'm with my kids and you try to rob me, I'm gonna throw that baby at you. You know? Because what kind of monster's gonna drop a baby? You know? I say that like I ain't dropped all 4 of mine. They're fine. 2 of them are autistic, but it's fine. But I used to think whenever I was in the dark and I was with my kids that I was more comfortable because I knew that if anything were to pop off, I had to protect those kids. But after some soul searching, I've learned that I'm more comfortable because if any danger were to go on, I know I'm faster than all 4 of them. Ladies, y'all know, especially Weston, you can't run for shit in heels. I also don't like what the internet's doing to my kids. Because my son, my oldest son, he watches a lot of Minecraft videos. And I don't know if any of y'all have kids that watch tablets relentlessly. Yeah, I see you. But my son has recently been watching these videos about Minecraft that talk about somebody in the game called Hero Brian, right? And for a hero, you summon him so bad. The way you're supposed to summon him is that you build a cross and you light it on fire. That is real shit. I did not make that up. So I didn't know this. So I come home one day and I'm walking into my living room and look up, and on my big TV, I just see a burning cross in the middle of it with my son sitting there like, come on. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, the villagers are taking all the good jobs, Dad. But no, my favorite thing about my oldest, though, is that he used to be scared of monsters, right? We found this out when he was 4 years old. We found it out because one night he busted into my room screaming that there was a monster in his closet. And if you have a past like mine, your first thought is, oh my God, where's my neighbor at right now? Y'all thought we were done, didn't you? But no, luckily my wife had a good idea. We put him back to bed and she gave him this thing called monster spray, which was just her perfume in a bottle. And we told him, it was like, if you ever see a monster, spray it with this and it'll kill it no matter what it is. And so we lay him back down. A few minutes later, I'm in the kitchen. I'm being loud. And then all of a sudden, this motherfucker storms in like he's one of the Proud Boys. And starts spraying that monster spray everywhere he could spray it. Just trying to hit whatever's in the room, just eyes closed, spraying it everywhere. And I told him right then, I'm never teaching you how to shoot a gun. But if I did, you'd make a great cop. He would, man. His first words were, stop resisting. But no, I remember we thought we had solved his monster problem for a while. And it wasn't until, about a year ago, he started spraying the monster spray on himself as a deterrent. And so one night, he gets out of his bed, he comes in there with us, and he's been spraying this stuff on himself all night. And like I said, it's just perfume, so this man is potent as fuck. So I'm already coughing, and he continually keeps spraying the spray on himself. And I'm just like, dude, you have got to stop with that monster spray. You're killing me over here. And he just looks at me and goes, why? What seems to be the problem, Dad? If that is your real name. So I talk him off the ledge. I end up going back to sleep. And 15 minutes later, I get woken up to this motherfucker dumping the monster spray on my face. Can we talk about how genius that is? That motherfucker waited until I was asleep and just immediately went for the kill shot. But like, it gets bad, dude. It's in my eyes. It gets in my nose. It's in my mouth. So I'm coughing, my eyes are running, I'm stumbling around the room trying to find something to wipe my face with. This boy is 100% convinced I'm a monster at this point. And he starts yelling like he's me watching a football game, like, get him! Take him down! Get that motherfucker! I end up like getting to my knees, this motherfucker jumps off the bed and drop kicks me. And I'm just on the ground. He's beating the shit out of me, kicking me. And I'm just sitting there like, this motherfucker would be a good cop. He even remembered to turn the body camera off. He even sat down and posed beside me. Uploaded to Instagram, hashtag cuffing season. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming out. My name is Austin Church. Biloxi, it's been a long time since I've been here, but I fucking love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's sit. Send the fuck out, cause we up again. Let's go. Damn, look at buddy stuck again. Yeah. Trying to stick with us, I guess we setting trends. Right. He can't hang, he can knock a 10. She the baddest in the room, and she know it. We can tell by the way that she throw it. Pull up with the stick, you got the leaves, and now we blowing. All that ass, baby, how can you control it? Yeah, yeah, money on the floor. Yeah, yeah, the vibes and you know it. Yeah, yeah, slide to the crib, at the couch with the bed up. I got you a pound for tonight, pick your head up. Yeah, yeah, send the fuck out, cause we up again. Yeah, yeah.